Hello, hello. Just thinking whilst driving home from work. Sorry, not the best start. Just thinking in terms of bandwidth in the next couple of months. I don't know how much free time I'm going to have. And I want to try and do an end of year roundup. And something that I'm going to do going forwards, probably next year now, is I'm going to start doing like a Christmas podcast or an end of year sort of wrap up podcast, because I've always struggled with where one season starts and one ends. And you'll see on Spotify especially that all of my seasons for ABP are 11 episodes long. And quite a few people have asked me why 11. And the answer is, I genuinely don't know. I think the reason that I started doing seasons was because Spotify for Podcasters, or Anchor as it was previously known, requested that you had a season and an episode number. So I kind of just started season 1, episode 1, and it's just gotten out of hand since then, because I'm nearly on season 14 now, which is mad. So at the start of this year, we had Jenny Colquitt on. I think it was potentially January 14th. And then after that, I had Name Redacted from Name Redacted podcast, so I don't get sued. Although I'm probably not going to get sued, let's be completely honest. I think you could probably figure out who I'm talking about at this point, especially if you look chronologically. So yeah, there we go. Who did we have after that? I think we had Jez and Alex from Don't Get Me Started podcast. I'm not just going to rifle through everything I've ever done, by the way, because that's just boring. But I've had a bit of a good year, really, as the land lies, as it were. And I just wanted to quickly say thank you, because it's been really, really chaotic, my side. And something that I mentioned in the MC Lars episode a while back now was I've really genuinely tried to grab this podcast with both hands. I've really tried to grab the bull by the horns, which is something that I don't usually do. I'm usually a bit like, oh, well, I'll start a band, but if the members don't show up, then, I'm only one person, and it's hard to build an empire. I hate that word, empire, it's horrible. But it's hard to build stuff if you don't have buy-in from other people. And I've been so consistent with ABP. For the last 3 years of my life, I've been doing it basically every single week. And that's quite difficult to actually achieve. I think if most people tried to do it, there'd be a couple of weeks, or, I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus in this video, by the way, but Brain Stew podcast, they've only just started season 2, and they actually ended season 1 in the beginning of December last year. So sometimes people need to take breaks. I find that happens quite a lot with like podcasts that are 2 people in a room, because you've got a bit more of a logistical challenge, whereas I sort of sit on Zoom with someone. But for example, if John had to work late, I'd have to reschedule the podcast because we both use the same computer to record. But yeah, it's been not without its challenges. There's been a couple of podcasts that I've done this year that I'm just like, this is crazy. This is so cool. Sean Smith and soon to be Shay from Solo Project, Devon Townsend, Casualties of Cool. That'll be next week. Also Digitizer, Paul and Sanya. When I was recording that episode, before they actually joined the Zoom call, I was not up for it. I was really I think it might have been the end of a season, that episode, and I just couldn't be bothered. But see, I love them. I think they're brilliant. I really like their YouTube channel. I really like their journey, and it just lit me up, and it just made me go, actually, this is really cool. Don't ever feel like this is going to work. There's been times in the past where, I've got to John's house, we've gone out for a drink, or we've gone out for something to eat, or I've bought food over, and I think to myself, right, we're probably going to get halfway through a film, and I'm going to have to break it and go upstairs and record. And sometimes, to be completely transparent, because I do pride myself in being transparent, I don't know if I can be asked, but I've got people counting on me. I've got guests booked. I've got people scheduled in, you know? And I'm always 100% better mentally when I've had these discussions. It's also like that sort of apprehension of going for a jog, that apprehension of doing something that you think you might not be very good at, that sort of thing. But you've just got to get on with it and just break through that wall that you've mentally built yourself, you know? But yeah, it's been a hell of a year. It's not over yet. But I do want to try and get some more thematic podcasts in line for next year. Like, I want to do a Halloween episode next year, and I want to do like a Christmassy one, like I mentioned before. I don't know what you do for an Easter podcast though, but yeah, it's been. I'm going to give the year a review. It's been a solid 8 out of 10 this year in terms of just looking at this from a recording podcasty perspective. Someone that's really helped me as well is Casper. And it's kind of strange to say that you look up to your son, because that's a bit backwards in my head anyway. It might not be for you guys, but he's always interested in what I'm doing. He's always interested in who I'm recording with next. And that's not to say that some people aren't, you know, like Alex, my girlfriend, is like super, super supportive of everything. John is pretty supportive. Marty as well. He's like really interested in the editing process and getting involved. He's brand new. He's about a month in. And some people at work are like, you know, you still doing your thing. They might not necessarily know what the thing is or how the sausage is made and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. I feel like I'm making a slight impact in the world, and it's really nice. And the sponsors I've got now are so solid. Like, I've got Shanty Spirit and Go Energy, and I'm so happy with the way that they coerce with me, the way that they. I couldn't really be any better off, really. Like, I'm getting this sent to me so frequently now that it's just mental. And it's not all about getting free stuff. It's about just believing in a product and a company. Obviously, I can't just drink Shanty Spirit vodka whilst I'm driving. But they've got loads of events on. They're doing really well. And we're getting this kind of thing where we're all rising up together, you know, and it's really nice. Yeah, sometimes I just need to sort of slow down and smell the roses and go for a walk and be in nature and think to myself, do you know what, Ben? It's not actually all about the numbers. It's just about having a good time. And the more I listen to other people's podcasts and the more I listen to like interviews of celebrities and stuff, it's money and fame doesn't really matter. It's just about the journey of actually having a laugh. But yeah, appreciate you if you've listened this far. Yeah, that's all I've got to say. So we'll keep this one under 10 minutes. That'll be a first. But yeah, cheers guys. Speak to you soon. Keep it Bedlam.